What's up, guys? Roberto here, going back home. Misha accomplished 2 IFFs in a row. Never done like 2-3 days. So we speak like 12 hours, 10 hours, then 12, 10. But feel good. Had a lot of fun. And today I want to talk about a question that people ask me all the time is, how many slides should I use in my talk? Last week I put a video on the power of less and more, and one of my buddies, Michael King, he wrote a comment on InfluenceOlogy. Hey man, after watching your video, I cut a bunch of slides and I'm doing a 60 minute talk. How many slides should I use? And there is a question that a lot of people ask me, man, about slides. So I'll talk about 3 things about slides, and I hope that can be super helpful for you. Now, usually the challenge, so when I start out saying that I am not anti PowerPoint or Keynote, I use them. So obviously I'll make sure I'm congruent. I am not anti slides or I'm not anti Keynote, so I use them in my talks a lot. So I want to make sure you know that. Now, the challenge that most presenters, when they have a talk coming up, here's what they do. A new talk, I'm talking about a new talk. Number 1, they go and try to find the older presentation and try to modify the presentation without thinking about the new presentation. The second pattern that I've seen is that they have a new talk and they reach out to a buddy, hey man, do you have a slides on this subject? And now they're trying to make that presentation their own, and it doesn't work very well. Or the third challenge that I see sometimes, they open up the slides or the PowerPoint or Keynote and they try to develop a presentation with the slides in front of them. And that is the worst thing you can do, because your mind is all over the place and PowerPoint or Keynote is linear. So that's why sometimes people get stuck. So if you have a new talk, okay, see the first thing that you do is this. You forget about any slides, okay? And what we do, you get an old school pen and paper or a whiteboard, or if you want to get like high tech, you can get a software like Mind Map. I use Mind Map. And the first thing that you do, you outline exactly your talk, right? Your opening, your pre-frame, the body of your talk, your pre-close, your close, your offer, the problem, the impact of the problem, the cause of the problem, the solution. You talk about how the solution works, social proof, storytelling, all that stuff. Now, once you outline the talk specifically, right? So step number 1 is outline. You got to outline in a notepad or whiteboard. Once you outline your talk, then the second thing that I want you to do, I want you guys to ask yourself, man, do I really need slides? Think about that. Do I really need slides? Now, I do talks, 2-hour talk, 4-hour talk, and I have no slides. When I worked for Tony Robbins for 6 years, and we'll be able to do a lot of speaking, converting a lot of people, selling all kinds of tickets, we didn't know how to use the slides. We were not allowed to use the slides. So the whole idea that presentation with PowerPoint Keynote is going to help you sell more, that is a lie. I'm just telling you it's a lie. Now, PowerPoint and Keynote, they can help you, right? They can help you, but not necessarily they're going to help you sell more. So after you outline, you're going to make a decision, depending on your topic, because some topics that you want to show some visuals, they're great. Depending on your topic, depending on your audience, depending on the format of your talks. If you're doing like a 3-day event like we do, the reason we like to use PowerPoint, because PowerPoint increases retention. So for the audience is better. Now I could just go over my manual, but for them it's better because when they're going to leave the class, they're going to remember pictures in the slides, then the retention is going to be higher. Now sometimes I do an hour talk. I don't use PowerPoint. I have an old school handout where I have one handout in front of me. I have a handout for the audience, and is a very cool way to be engaged, because now the audience is writing things down all the time. Or you can use a whiteboard. So the second thing after you outline, you ask yourself, is my talks going to be more effective with PowerPoint or without it? 99% of the people, okay? 99% of people use PowerPoint for the presenter benefit, not for the audience benefit. You're not doing that for them. There's a plane here. I'm here by the Miami airport. most people use PowerPoint because they don't want to rehearse. They want to make sure they know what they're going to say next, not for the benefit of the audience at all. So just, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of effective speakers who don't use PowerPoint at all. Right? Now, again, I'm not anti. So the first step is outline. The second, sometimes you can just go and speak and you have props. A lot of talks that I do, I just have props and I show things and people get super engaged. Other thing too, the benefit about speaking PowerPoint is that you can read the audience. I mean, literally, you read the audience and you can change the course of presentation. Now, if you have PowerPoint, it's hard to do because now you have this unconscious pattern like, man, I'm gonna go through my slides. So, just saying. Now, and then the step number 3, if you say, no, Roberto, I want to do like a 2-hour class and it's very scientific, I want to show some studies, then PowerPoint is going to add to my message. Then I say, man, this is a great idea. If you want to show before and after contrast, if you want to show a study, if you want to show a video, if you want to show something visual, then I think PowerPoint is great. And then what you do, there's a lot of companies out there who provide PowerPoint and research, and I think they're great. Let me tell you why I think companies who do presentations and they provide like decks, PowerPoints, I think they're great because they can save the speaker time researching the information, number 1, and number 2, designing, putting the presentation together. So I think they're a great resource for the presenter. So then the secret is you have your outline, right? You say, I'm going to use the slides. Then you're going to look at the slides that you have, and then you're going to make those slides. You're going to choose, I'm going to use this information, this slide, and then you make sure you format the slides that you have, the deck, into a structure, right? You dictate the presentation, not the reverse. Some people allow the presentation, dictate them, and do the reverse. You dictate the slides. So that's what I do. So what I tell my clients is like, man, if you outline your talk, if you decide to do slides, which they're great, they can help you out. Then once you're super clear about what you want to do, then you look about the slides you have, the previous presentation that you've done. Then you just select, I want to use this slide to fit your what? Format and structure. That's how you make, quote unquote, your slides your own. And because now everything is congruent, because sometimes people, they feel the need, just because someone is successful doing a presentation with one specific slides deck, they go like, oh man, I got to do the same thing. The truth is you don't, because you want to make sure your message is super authentic to you. Anyway, we have a lot of comments here, and I'll make sure to try to answer my best here. Guys, adios. Going back home. I've been away from my family since I think 10 days, 11 days. I miss my wife and my baby Sophia is coming, so I miss my family. And that's it. Thanks so much for your continued support here live from Miami. And our next class is in May, so I'm super excited. If you've never been to Influence for the Front, game changer guarantee. I'm looking forward to connect with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.